December 1916. Snow is falling over the streets of Petrograd, inside a private palace. A dinner is ready. There are cakes, wine, and soft music. But there is something else on that table. Poison, enough to kill 5 grown men. The guest is Rasputin, a peasant, a monk, a man who should have never been inside the palace, and yet he is one of the most powerful men in Russia. He does not dress like a noble. He does not speak like one, but he influences decisions, politics, and even the royal family. The empress believes he saved her son. She believes that as long as Rasputin lives, her son will live too. But outside the palace, people see something very different. They see a man who drinks too much, a man who sleeps with married women, a man who should not be near power. And tonight, a group of nobles has decided to stop him. Rasputin thinks he is coming to meet a princess. He has no idea this is a trap, and he has no idea that killing him will not be easy. Stay with me. Because what happens next should have killed him many times, but it didn't. To understand this, we need to go back, not to the palace, to a small village in Siberia. The year is 1869, a boy is born. His name is Grigory Rasputin. He grows up in mud, cold, and silence. No school, no books, no future, just work, animals, fields, survival, but people notice something strange about him. Sometimes he laughs alone, sometimes he stays still for hours. People think something is wrong with him. When he becomes a teenager, things get worse. He joins a violent group. They steal. They drink. They cause trouble. One day, they are accused of stealing horses, a serious crime. The others are punished. Rasputin escapes. Barely. That should have been the end, but it wasn't. One day, walking alone, something happens. He feels something he cannot explain. He runs into the forest. He hides. He starts to pray. And when he comes back, he is not the same. He speaks less. But people start respecting him. Something has changed. And slowly stories begin. Stories about visions, about healing, about something not normal. Years later, he makes a decision. He leaves. No warning, no goodbye. He leaves his wife, his children, everything. And he starts walking for years, sleeping outside, begging for food, moving from place to place, looking for something he cannot name. He visits churches, monasteries, and small religious communities far from the cities. He listens, he observes, he prays, he learns to fast, to be silent, to endure. He believes he is being prepared for something big, something he does not yet understand, and slowly he finds it. He finds his voice. He discovers that when he speaks, people stop and listen, not because he sounds educated, because he sounds certain, and that is a very powerful thing. After years of walking, he returns home, but he is not the same man who left. Stories spread quickly. People say he can heal. People say he can see the future. Wealthy men and women travel long distances just to meet him, and then someone important hears about him. 2 princesses connected to the royal family. They meet him. They are fascinated. And they make a decision. Rasputin must meet the Tsar. He arrives in St. Petersburg, the capital of the Russian Empire. A city full of power and deception. There are mystics everywhere. Mediums, healers, men who promise miracles, but Rasputin is different. He does not try to look important. Dirty clothes, long beard, simple words, and yet people listen, not just normal people. Powerful people, nobles, church leaders, men close to the Tsar. They invite him, they ask questions, and Rasputin gives answers with confidence. He does not sound educated, but he sounds certain, and that is enough. His name spreads fast. Some say he can heal, some say he can see the future. Some say he is dangerous, but everyone agrees on one thing: he is not normal. Inside the palace, the situation is fragile. Tsar Nicholas II rules the empire. But his biggest fear is not war. It is his son, Alexei. Alexei is very sick. He has a condition where his blood does not stop bleeding. A small injury can kill him. The doctors cannot fix it. Nothing works. The royal family lives in fear. Every single day. One night, everything gets worse. Alexei is in severe pain. He is bleeding internally. He is getting weaker. The doctors try everything. Nothing works. The empress breaks down completely. She is desperate, and she makes a decision. She calls Rasputin. He arrives without medicine, no tools, no plan. He walks into the room. He looks at the boy, and he starts to pray. Minutes pass. Something changes. The boy calms down. His breathing slows. The pain decreases. He falls asleep. The next morning, the bleeding has stopped. The doctors have no explanation. They failed. This man did nothing medical, and it worked. For the Empress Alexandra, this is not luck. This is a miracle. From that moment, Rasputin is no longer just a visitor. He becomes necessary. He enters the palace freely. No permission, no limits. He speaks with the empress again and again. She trusts him more than anyone. The Tsar is not fully convinced, but he sees the result. His son is alive, and that is enough. Every time Alexei suffers, they call Rasputin, and every time the boy improves outside the palace, rumors grow inside, his power grows. Rasputin starts giving opinions, not just about health, about politics, about people, who to trust, who to remove. And slowly, he is no longer just a healer. He is part of the system. That is when the real problem begins. The nobles hate him, an uneducated peasant in the center of power. It makes no sense to them. It should not be possible. And outside, his behavior makes everything worse. He drinks, he parties, he does not hide it. To some people, he is a saint. To others, he is a fraud, but nobody can remove him. Because the empress protects him, and the Tsar allows it. Then in 1912, Alexei suffers another crisis, severe, worse than before. The family is traveling. There is no help nearby. The boy is dying. Alexandra sends a message to Rasputin. He is far away in Siberia. His answer comes back quickly. Do not worry. The boy will live. That same night, the bleeding stops getting worse. The next day, the pain decreases. Days later, he recovers. This should not happen. But it does. Now there is no doubt for Alexandra. Rasputin is sent by God, and for his enemies, the message is clear. He must be stopped. Attempts begin. First, humiliation, then violence. One day, religious leaders attack him. They hit him. They try to force him to leave. He escapes. He goes directly to the empress. They are punished and sent away. Nothing works. Then something more serious happens. The year is 1914. Rasputin is in his home village, relaxed away from the palace. A woman approaches him on the street. Suddenly, she attacks. She stabs him in the stomach. Deep. He falls, bleeding, but conscious. He stands up. He fights back. He survives. The doctors say he should die. He doesn't. After multiple operations, he recovers completely. Now the story changes. This is no longer just a man with influence. This is someone who does not die. The idea spreads across Russia for his followers. There is no longer any doubt. Rasputin is chosen by God. For his enemies, the message is different. If they want to finish him, they will need something much more than a knife. That same year, Europe goes to war. Rasputin sends a warning to the Tsar, do not go to war, or everything will fall. The Tsar ignores him. The war goes badly, losses increase. People suffer, food becomes scarce. Then the Tsar makes a decision that changes everything. He leaves the capital, he goes to the front to lead the army himself, and he leaves the Empress Alexandra in charge of the government, with Rasputin beside her. Now everything changes. Rasputin influences decisions. Ministers come and go based on his words. People are angry, hungry, tired. They need someone to blame. They choose him. Rumors explode. They call him a spy, a manipulator, an enemy of Russia. Even members of the royal family turn against him, but still he remains. So his enemies make a final decision. If he cannot be removed, he must be killed. And now we return to the night where everything ends, or should have ended. December 1916. The palace, the dinner, the poison. A man named Felix Yusupov organizes everything. He is one of the wealthiest men in the empire. He hates Rasputin deeply. He uses the perfect trap. He tells Rasputin that a beautiful princess wants to meet him privately at his palace. Rasputin cannot resist. He arrives at 11:30 at night. He is joking and smiling. He has no idea what is waiting for him. In the basement, the table is set, cakes and wine. Everything looks warm and welcoming, but the cakes have poison in them. The wine too. Enough to kill 5 men. Rasputin sits down. He eats a cake. He drinks a glass of wine. 15 minutes pass. He is still talking normally. 20 minutes, nothing. Yusupov starts to shake. He offers another cake. 30 minutes, not a single sign of pain. The poison should have worked in less than 10 minutes. It is strong, it is real, but Rasputin is still sitting there, speaking calmly. Yusupov goes upstairs. His hands are trembling. Nothing is happening. He ate everything. He drank everything. He is completely fine. One of the men stands up and hands him a gun. There is no more time. You have to do it yourself. Yusupov goes back down to the basement. A shot is heard. Rasputin falls to the floor. Eyes closed. Still. Silent. They think it is over. They turn off the lights. They begin to plan what to do with the body. Yusupov walks back toward Rasputin. He leans down, and then the eyes open. Rasputin grabs him by the shoulder. Yusupov pulls free and runs. Rasputin crawls, gets to his feet, takes one step, then another. He opens the door to the courtyard. He starts to run. One of the men chases him with a gun. He fires twice. Both bullets miss. He fires twice more. This time the bullets hit. Rasputin falls into the snow. The man walks up to him and fires one more time. This time Rasputin does not move. They wrap the body in thick cloth and bind it with iron chains. They drive to the river. They find a hole in the ice. They push him in. The body disappears into the dark water. They go home. They are convinced it is over. 2 days later, on the 2nd of January, 1917, a hand appears above the ice. Workers see it and call the police. They break the ice and pull out the body. It is him, Grigory Rasputin. 3 bullet wounds, one in the chest, one in the side, one in the forehead, but in his stomach no trace of poison. The poison failed. Nobody knows exactly why. Maybe it was prepared incorrectly. Maybe the heat destroyed it. Nobody has a clear answer. The news spreads everywhere. Many people celebrate, but very quickly, it becomes clear that the real problem was never Rasputin. The war continues. Food is scarce. People are striking. Trust in the royal family is gone. Without him, nothing improves. Everything gets worse. Alexandra, completely broken, keeps saying the same thing. The prophecy is coming true. 2 months after his death, Russia erupts. People take to the streets. Soldiers refuse to fight against them. Control is lost completely. The Tsar steps down from power. The Romanov dynasty, after more than 300 years, falls. The royal family is placed under arrest. And then on July 17, 1918, less than 2 years after the death of Rasputin, the entire Romanov family is executed. The Tsar, the Empress. Every single one of their children, not one survives. Exactly as Rasputin had written in his final letter, before he died, Rasputin sent a letter to the Empress. These were his words. I feel that I will leave this life before January 1st. If I am killed by ordinary people, you have nothing to fear. Your children will reign in Russia for many years, but if I am killed by nobles, by men of power, then their blood will stain Russia for 25 years. The Tsar will not survive more than 2 years. Brothers will kill brothers, the people will rise, God will abandon Russia, and I will not be there to protect you. Every word came true, within 2 years. Today, more than 100 years later, Rasputin is still a mystery. He survived a knife to the stomach when survival was almost impossible. He was given enough poison to kill 5 men, and felt nothing. He was shot, fell, stood up, ran, was shot again, and had to be shot several more times before he stopped moving, and his final letter predicted the fall of an empire. With perfect accuracy. So who was he, really? A healer with a real gift, a brilliant manipulator, a man who simply understood people better than anyone else, or something that even today we still cannot explain. One thing is certain, the world has never seen anyone quite like him, and it probably never will again. If this story stayed with you, subscribe. Every week I bring you a true story that most people have never heard.